Let's talk about something that can feel, well, just overwhelmingly complex: Medicare. But what if, and just imagine this, what if you had a personal expert on call, 24/7, ready to help you decode it all? Well, that's what we're going to cover today: how a simple, modern tool can do exactly that. I mean, seriously, have you ever opened a letter from Medicare and felt your head just start to spin? If you have, you are absolutely not alone. The language can be so dense, so full of jargon, it really does feel like it's written for lawyers, not for the people who actually need to understand it. So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with that Medicare mail headache we all know and love. Then, I'll introduce you to your new 24/7 expert. We'll see the magic prompt in action, figure out how to compare your plan options, and I'll even share some tips for getting perfect answers. The goal? To put you in control. Okay, let's dive right in. Section 1, the Medicare mail headache. We're going to talk about why words like Part A, Part B, Medigap, and Advantage plans cause so much confusion, and, more importantly, how we can start turning all of that into crystal clarity. You know, the most important thing to remember right off the bat is this: if you're confused, it is not your fault. Seriously, this language is practically designed to be complicated. But the good news is, you don't have to try and figure it all out on your own anymore. And that brings us right to the solution: your new secret weapon. We're talking about a tool that can take all of that confusing gobbledygook and translate it into plain, simple English, anytime you need it. And that tool is called AI, or artificial intelligence. Now hold on, don't let the technical names scare you. The absolute best way to think of it is like having your very own smart librarian. You know, someone you can ask any question, who instantly finds the right information and then explains it to you in a way that actually makes sense. And this right here, this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Look at the left side. That's the kind of confusing jargon you get in the mail, right? Now look at the right. That's the simple answer you actually want. The AI's whole job is to bridge that gap for you instantly. So let's see how this thing actually works. We're going to put our smart librarian to the test with a really common question, one that comes from a standard letter you might get about Medicare Part B. All you have to do is just ask your question in plain English. And here's a fantastic tip. Notice that last part, like you're talking to a friend. That little phrase is like a magic wand. It tells the AI to drop all the formal stuff and just give you a simple, friendly answer. You can type or even speak this into many of the free AI tools online. And boom! In just a few seconds, you get a result like this. It's so clear and direct. See how it breaks it down? It tells you what Part B covers, like your doctor visits. It explains that the premium is just the monthly cost. And it connects those dots so you know exactly what your money is paying for. No jargon, no fine print, just the answer. Okay, so that's pretty useful for a single letter, right? But let's take it a step further. We can use the exact same tool for one of the biggest and sometimes most stressful decisions people have to make: choosing between a Medigap plan and a Medicare Advantage plan. Again, you just ask a simple, straightforward question. And this is a big one, isn't it? It's a high-stakes decision, and getting a clear, unbiased comparison is absolutely essential to making the right choice for both your health and your finances. And just look at how the AI organizes the answer for you. Instead of some long, dense paragraph, it creates this beautiful, simple comparison table. Just look at that first row. It makes it so clear. Medigap adds to original Medicare, while an Advantage plan replaces it. Then for doctor choice, with Medigap, you can see any doctor who accepts Medicare. With Advantage, you have to stay in the network. It even breaks down the costs. Seeing it all laid out like this makes a huge, complex choice feel so much easier to tackle. Now, to make sure you always get the best, most helpful answers from your new expert, there are just a few simple things to keep in mind when you're asking your questions. Here are 4 little pro tips. First, just be clear. Second, try to ask just one question at a time. Third, remember that magic phrase: explain like you're talking to a friend. And fourth, and this one is really, really important, folks, protect your privacy. Never, ever share personal details like your Medicare number or your Social Security number. Just think of this tool as a public library for information, not a private chat with your doctor. So, when you boil it all down, the most important thing here isn't the technology itself. It's about what this technology does for you. It's about shifting that feeling from stress and confusion over to one of real confidence and control. You honestly don't have to feel overwhelmed by that stack of mail anymore. You don't have to worry that you're missing something important buried in the fine print. You now have an expert on call 24/7, ready to give you just the facts you need in language you can actually understand. This tool really puts the power back where it belongs, in your hands. It's ready to help you make smart, informed decisions about your health and your future. So really, the only thing left to think about is, what's the very first question you're going to ask?